Hey everybody, Andrea Waddell here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create some real color magic, some electricity with your colors using one simple technique. So it started with this painting, wasn't quite sure what to do with it, so I thought I would try some color theory. And I used this one. This is the technique. I used just these colors on the wheel. So the purple, the blue purple, the green yellow, really following the wheel. Got my colors ready using Nova acrylic paints, and I'm painting on um, paper. It's archival hardboard paper, and laying down the paint so that the majority of it, pretty much everything, is just going to be those colors. So I'd say 80%, 90%. Just following the wheel, the green yellow, the green, the blue purple, and then all the way over to the darkest purple. So I'm using basically all the cool colors, and then I'll show you how the magic happens when you start to add an accent using a complementing color of one of those colors. But first, I'm finding the composition with the whole focus really just being on placing those colors and finding variations in the values of them, like this light purple, light green, yellowy green. Created a beautiful turquoise, and it works with the rest of the colors, adding white to it. So it's that yellowy green turquoise, but with titanium white, which is going to make it a lot lighter. And I'm just playing with shapes and not looking at anything really, just maybe a couple of floral shapes on my table, and playing by adding paint and then using my paper towel and lifting it pretty quickly in some areas if I want to have those kind of shadow shapes, and deepening some of the colors with the deep purple. So it's kind of nice. You don't have to think too much about your color choices when you're trying this technique. You know that you are constrained just to the colors that you've chosen on the wheel, but still trying to make sure in this painting, I'm trying to make the floral abstracted color composition work. And the way I do that is by laying down paint, lifting it really quickly so you almost see those shadow shapes behind. It's like something is floating, and it creates a lot of depth to do it that way. Adding light over dark, dark over light, looking for shapes. Doing this again pretty intuitively with just various brush strokes. And sometimes what I do is I add maybe recognizable shapes, or at least I think they're recognizable. In my mind they are. So this is a leaf I'm imagining. And then the next shape is maybe something a lot looser. I've got that one shape there, so you can kind of see it's an abstracted floral that I'm trying to reference, but I keep it both tight and loose. And I use my paper towel to create shapes, like I'm going to just switch it right over that wet white paint to create more depth and a more interesting shape. I like working that way. So I'm working my way through this paper, exploring really the color relationships. What happens if I place the light purple here? What happens if I place the deep purple there? How about that green? Just basically that's the exploration, but it's primarily all of those colors, those dark, cool colors. Dark, cool. And now for the color trick magic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take two accent colors. Now that I've got the majority of the painting is these blue tones, I'm going to take the opposite of purple is yellow, and the opposite of green is red, and those are going to be my accent colors. And you can do this with any colors on the wheel, but these are the colors that I'm going to play with. So coming in with some yellow first, I've added some primary yellow and I've added some Indian yellow to it to make it a little bit more orangey. And I'm looking for spots to place it. Now this is where it gets tricky. Is you can see here, I've placed it in too many areas. I'm trying to find the most powerful spot. Like where is it going to have the most impact? And so I'm trying all kinds of different spots for it, and I'm adding too much of it, so it's losing its power. It's losing that electric magic that happens when you don't use a lot of it, when you just place it in one small area. So now I'm coming in with the red, which is the opposite of the purple. You can see how that pops up in that green area, but it's the rest of it wasn't quite working in terms of the color. So I'm taking a risk. I grabbed a darker color, one of the darker greens, laying it down, lifting it up really quickly just to see how that's going to influence the rest of the colors. And it's working well. It's really bringing out the strength of that red a lot more, and it's helping that yellow, that accent color, down at the bottom. It's a really fun thing to do. But the trick is less is more. Less accent color, not too much. I got here and then worked on it a little bit more, and eventually it became this with primarily blues and greens and purple and a little pop of red and a little pop of yellow. I hope you got something from watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to learn more from me, all that information is in the notes below.